Good morning, I'm Clive Cornelius, broadcasting to you from the GBTA conference in Brussels. Joining me today is Michael Poglitsch from Mobinck. Michael, thank you for being here.
Thank you for the invitation.
So Michael, can we start with you telling me a bit about you and also Mobinck?
Sure. My name is Michael, as you just said. I have a history of almost 25 years in mobility, working for almost 20 years in the sixth world, and now changing to be the MD for Mobinck Germany, a mobility ecosystem which provides forward-thinking corporate mobility for clients and partners.
Fantastic. So, can you explain the Mobinck ecosystem in a nutshell?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, we are an expert for corporate mobility, trying to, let's say, solve questions around about sustainability, around about ecological, economical, and social questions customers may have. So we try to solve those questions, and with our experience since 1907 already, and combining this with those 6 ventures in our ecosystem, we really try to help with services ranging from traditional fleet management and everything which is around here up to mobility cards we provide, and services around smart parking, telematics, and so on and so forth.
Excellent. So would you like to maybe kind of elaborate a bit further on the
Sure.
ecosystem itself?
Absolutely. I mean, what I just said is really somehow which we feel is unique in the market, because we really can combine those 6 ecosystems, those 6 ventures in our ecosystem, making sure that we can look at it from a very broad perspective, giving advice in doing things or how to do things to get greener, to get more sustainable, to get alternatives instead of having, let's say, the company car for the next 100 years.
Yeah.
And always, let's say, with a look to be unique, to try to, let's say, approach the employees of the customer with a very smart and very, let's say, lean solution, which once again ranges in the world of classical cars and car fleet management, around things in mobility cards. So coming from the payment side, and this is where, let's say, the companies Ximo on our side and Visa on your side are really having a great partnership for many years. And yeah, to complete this with innovative solutions, getting insights, getting grip on a few things, to not only, let's say, talk about it and dream about it, but to work on it and to use data we get and we have, and we can visualize that on maps to make sure that we reach a certain direction together with the client.
Yeah, perfect. So you mentioned that you help companies, ecologically, socially, economically with their goals. Sustainability, as you'd have seen from the session yesterday, and the session starting today.
Absolutely.
Obviously, it's a mega trend for corporates, and they've got to take that into consideration. So what part do you think mobility plays in that?
I mean, I heard it this morning already, and everybody is talking about it. So it plays a very crucial role. And of course, traditionally, it has been always, at least the last few years, that companies had to, let's say, report their CO2 emissions on their travel things. They had to report CO2 emissions on their car fleets. But now, I give you one example. Coming from the guys here in Brussels, there's a new directive from the EU called CSRD. And this CSRD makes or puts pressure on companies bigger than 250 employees, which, I mean, in that room we have quite some many of this. And they need to report not only what they did in the past, they also need to report their CO2 emission for the commuting part. Okay. So how do their people and their employees travel to the office? How often do they do this? And this is also something where we feel more and more pressure on those kind of things, also coming, let's say, from legislative topics. And this is where we, let's say, step in and also help with our ventures, with our ecosystem, to get, let's say, visibility, to get, let's say, a grip on it, and to solve it, and to, let's say, face those kind of things with solutions who help and who are, let's say, compliant with what is needed from a legislative perspective.
Fantastic. So it's very clear that mobility plays a key part. As you said, there's already been a session today. You've talked us through some other great points there. What tools do you offer within the Mobinck ecosystem that actually help companies be more sustainable?
I mean, the first step I just said is to visualize and to get, let's say, data.
Yeah.
I mean, we are all talking about data all the time.
Yeah.
Also here we need data, but having data from all your employees doesn't help. But if you bring that on a map and scan the commuting of your people, that will bring first transparency. It will help to visualize and to see what can be done. And then with this tool and with the scan we do, we can help in being more sustainable, being more healthy. So think about the fact that, I mean, living close to the office, I can say it from myself because I live 1 kilometer to the office, so I take the bike now.
Yeah.
There's no need for the car. Even if it's raining, I try to find my way.
Yeah.
And this is, if you visualize it on the map, you can use that to become more and more sustainable. And that is one thing, to get it visualized. Second is, I mean, with the Ximo mobility card we are offering, we can have and offer solutions and a portal and a very hassle-free, let's say, means of payment and stuff to think about how to commute. Is it the car? Can I take the bus? Can I take a shared bike, car, whatever?
Yeah.
And all these things can be combined, always with a view on how to and where to leverage. With the Ximo card, if I pay my bus ticket with the Ximo card, I get also the CO2 emission reported and can use that for complying with the CSRD. So, I mean, taking all this into account is really something which is relevant for all companies and relevant for all over Europe.
Yeah,
and
no,
that's
absolutely.
why we think we are in a good position to help and support with all those things.
Sounds a very interesting tool. So what else do you have to offer? You were talking about 6 ventures at the start.
Exactly. I mean, what I was saying is let's say, every of those 6 is separate somehow. On one hand. On the other hand, we can combine things. So if I was talking to motivate people taking the bike instead of the car to go to work, then the next question pops up and say, okay, where can I handle it? How do I get track of those bikes? How can I, let's say, get things together in terms of having a total cost of mobility? So I have a car, I have a bike, I have public transport, I have, I don't know, travel expenses here and there, and different sources, different reports, different things. We have a tool, for example, which combines all this. So you can have a car, you can have even a mobility budget or a bike. And this can be, you can kill your axles and you have all in one place. You have all dedicated to one person in your company. So that would be one thing. The next question would be, okay, how can I get, let's say, data from my pool cars? Okay, then we could think about having a telematic solution.
Yeah.
And if you have a telematic solution, it can get data like hell to you, but what to do with this data? How to live, how to work with it. Get it into the tool, combining forces, combining the products, and try to get into one. And that is where we think that we can provide a holistic process and a holistic means of mobility.
That's great. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for joining me at the broadcast studio. I'm Clive Cornelius, broadcasting to you from the GBTA conference in Brussels. Thank you for tuning in.